Hi there, this is Sahid with New Bloom Solutions. Thanks for joining us again. As you may know, this month is all about marketing. Last 2 weeks we had Jet Fresh on, Ryan Black. Yesterday we had a product that helps you with marketing and helps the flower industry create and reach out to marketers, which was pretty cool. Excuse me. And today we're having Golden Flowers. Mariana Becerra from Golden Flowers, a marketing specialist from their company. And the reason why is because they do a really good effort at encouraging and supporting their customers, at engaging and really taking it away from the sales call and saying, how can we support you? How can we support the causes that you're working with? And then how can we support you to connect with your wholesalers that we could work together as a team to get your message out and to collaborate and do things a little better. So again, marketing's here to stay. Now let's learn from the people that have really embraced marketing. Feel free to ask any questions, as I know Mariana would be very open to answering any questions. So feel free to ask any questions and help me welcome Mariana Becerra. Oh.
Hi.
Hello. How are you? Give me a second. Let me make sure you're unmuted. All right, fantastic. How are you, Mariana? Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. We've worked in so many little projects together, and every time I find a nonprofit, you always help out. So thank you so much for always doing that, and thank you for your time ahead of time for joining us and sharing your knowledge. Thank you again.
Well, I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's get started right to it. How did your journey start in the flower industry? How did you end up in this crazy world?
I mean, it's funny. Unofficially, I started when I was a kid. So my dad has worked in the industry since I was 3. So I remember as a kid going to the farm and visiting and just making it. It was always such a fun experience. It was like a field trip. And then fast forward, I think to 2014, I was gearing up to go to grad school and I needed a part-time job. And Golden was looking for a marketing coordinator, but very basic stuff, just, help out with the marketing director. And I was like, let me just get in on it. And what started out as a part-time job became a full-time job. And now I've been there since, it's been 6 years now. So, and I didn't even study marketing. So that's the funny part of it.
Wow. But you don't have to study marketing, right? It's
you don't at all. What I've learned is all doing the job. And I think that's the best way to learn things, just working at it. So, yeah.
There's courses and workshops and things like that. And I like to, and I know it's not a part of our question, but a lot of people are in fear of how difficult it is to do. And they forget to kind of realize the importance of just doing, right? So
100%.
How important was it for you just to do?
I mean, it was, I just learned the major things that I needed to learn were learned on the job. But I have taken some digital marketing courses that have been phenomenal in helping me understand, the bits and pieces that sometimes I miss while doing my research, maybe having a coach, but definitely if you're in marketing or if you're not in marketing, but you want to implement marketing into your business, you don't have to go to school for marketing. You can learn it on Google, YouTube, all that stuff. They have everything online for marketing. It's not easy, but it's doable.
Yeah, it's just about get it going, and the importance
100%.
of it, and as well, if you're not on social, it's kind of like losing a space for real estate, right? So the faster you are on these platforms, the more ground you are able to take and more impact you can cause, right?
100%. 100%.
I'm just posting here the show on LinkedIn, so I'm doing a couple of things at the same time.
No worries.
Appreciate you. So in one sentence, what do you love most about the flower industry?
I think that what I love the most is that we get to work with products that literally bring joy and happiness into people's lives. I think that's the simplest answer to it.
It is a beautiful thing to understand that we affect lives from the beginning to the end of it.
So it's just like the connection that you have with the product, and then the product has a connection with people. I think it's just phenomenal to me.
And then what's your official title?
So I'm a digital marketing specialist and I'm head
Okay.
of community outreach for Golden.
So tell us, how important is community outreach? What is community outreach, and how important is that for even your ROI? Like, what does that do for a company?
I mean, so when we first started talking about community outreach, we were always focusing on the farms, farm level. What our farms do for their community. You know, we would always talk about
Yeah.
our farms are socially responsible, which they are. I mean, every time I go to the farms, it's just like I leave with just a sense of purpose and it's just such a positive experience. And then I was talking to our team and I was like, okay, we always talk about what's done at farm level, but what about our own community? Like there are people here, right here, that need flowers in their lives, that don't have access to flowers. Not only that, you know, we don't even have to do community outreach that is directly related to the floral industry. It could be something else. But when we're promoting the farms, we should also be promoting our own efforts. So for me, it has been, I mean, just completely transformative to work with our community, getting people access to flowers. We have our first partnership, like community partnership, was started with a foundation here from Miami called La Casita Foundation.
Yeah.
And we sponsor their floral workshop. And it's women that, you know, are in need, women that are older, women that, you know, have retired or are trying to find a way to like have some skills and actually start their own business. So these amazing volunteers have created these programs, and we get to be a part of it. So it's not just donating the flowers. It's not just writing a check. It's actually getting involved with the community, which to me makes a huge difference, because it's easy. It is easy to, you know, just send a check. And sometimes we do that when it's like for special promotions that we do with our flower of the month, you know, like last month we did something for Texas. I can't go to Texas right now, so we're going to donate some money to Texas. But if it's for our own community, the best thing to do is donate your time, your effort, you know, your knowledge, help them out as much as you can. And customers really respond to that. I have some customers that are, how can we do this here in our own, you know, community? So it's showing them that it not only does it help the people in need, but it also helps you as a person. You get a lot out of it too.
And when people come to the brass tacks of it and say, okay, what's your ROI? Are you getting any more business from it? What would be your answer to that?
We are, because you know we're reaching people that we hadn't been able to reach before. I think that it's, your name is out there more. Other like-minded individuals and brands that care about community and care about giving back want to start working with you. So, for example, you know, we've done other projects with other companies. I don't know if you know Flowers for Heroes here in
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah, of course. It's a
They've
small,
reached,
it's a startup. They started during
it's a
COVID. Yeah.
startup,
Yeah.
but they've reached out. You know, I know other distributors have donated stuff to them. So it does get your name out there a little bit more to people that maybe hadn't seen or heard of you. And then it gets customers talking about like, oh, so they did this. Maybe it's something that we can support and we can be a part of, and that can help our efforts as well. So it's definitely a win-win for everyone, I believe.
And how does that, how do the optics look? So you know, in our industry, we're always worried about the optic, that we don't want the wholesaler to think that we're selling to the retailer, and vice versa, you know. And obviously there's that respect of respecting that territory, but how do you work around that? You know, how does that, you know, how do you work around that, and how does it affect that? Does that make any
So
sense?
no, yeah. So I think that what we've done is we've communicated very openly and honestly with our customer base, so mostly wholesalers and supermarkets, small supermarkets, what we're doing so that they're aware. We invite them to participate. We invite them to ask questions. So I think that the most important thing when you're going to do something like that and you're worried about, you know, maybe overstepping or taking or stealing customers away from your own customers is being honest. We're not here to sell directly to retailers. We're distributors. We can't. It's as simple as that. We're here to help you sell better, and sell more. So how can we work together towards that goal? And yes, sometimes retailers, florists, you know, contact us asking us if we want to collab. And of course we're going to collab, but we can't sell to them. And the best way to do that is to connect them with a wholesaler that's in their community where we can all partner together. So we're here to like make our efforts, multiply our efforts, make them so that everyone benefits from it. We're not here to just steal, or of course a florist is going to have amazing vision and artistic vision, but then the wholesaler comes in with the logistics of how we get the product to them easier instead of using, FedEx or things like that. So it's all the whole plan with all these collaborations and the community outreaches. Let's get more people involved, because the more people that get involved, the better it becomes. It's going to be
you're building a community.
Exactly.
That's really it. You're innovating, aspiring, and connecting the floral industry through community.
And then that's what we are in the end of the day. Like our floral community has just grown so much in the last year. A lot of people, I've talked to, because of COVID, quit their jobs, lost their jobs, and started what was a hobby as like a floral hobby is now their, source of income, their prime source of income. So our community continues to grow, and there's so much to do, and there's so many ways to help out. And that to me is like very inspiring.
And that comes in the spirit of collaboration, right? And I think that's just a way of business now. It's not a theory nor an afterthought. It's just really partnering with people and stopping to think of your customer as a transaction and a dollar bill, and more as a business partner really helps.
100%.
So my next question is, how can wholesalers better collaborate with their distributors to do more collaborations and to help the community? What's the best way, and how can they go about it?
So I think that wholesalers, when we talk about collaborations with the community, you have to kind of gauge, like, what can I do? What within my budget, time, and expertise can I do? And then from there, have conversations with distributors and florists, like, I can provide the flowers, but I don't have photography skills, or I don't have the time. I can do it once a month. Like, really understand what you're getting yourself into. And that goes also into social media. I see a lot of times people in the industry that just are on it to just be on it, which is obviously important. You have to use your social media to promote and to share stuff, but really understand what you're getting yourself into, because it's a lot. It's, every day it's changing. And you have to invest time, money, and your efforts into making it work. So I guess, not to make this like super long, wholesalers really just need to reach out and be like, I have this idea, but I can't do it alone. So how can we make it work? And I guarantee, if you have a good relationship with your distributor and your customers, people are going to be willing to help. Because I have maybe 4 or 5 wholesale customers at the top of my head that anytime that we say, like, we're going to do this, they're like, how can we help? What can we do? How can we recreate this? So it's like, you just have to continue building that personal connection, that, that mutual trust that you have with your customers and your distributors. And these conversations, I think, will flow naturally. It's not, like you say, it's not transactional anymore. It's like, let's have conversations. How are you doing? What I mean? It's not just, how can I sell you a box? It's, what's new? What are you doing? And that also, that's why we also have those efforts of like sending out newsletters, sharing with our customers what we're doing. It's not just posting pretty pictures online about, arrangements. It's like, what's the copy? What's the message? What's the caption? We're talking about this month, like, help us out, spread the word. So it really is about communication.
And I think I'm glad you said that. I think it's a lot less about selling on social media and newsletters and things like that than it is supporting and educating,
100%.
encouraging, giving value up front. So we usually have a lot of florists that watch a show. What tips could you give the florists, and what are some examples of collaborations that you've done through other wholesalers, for example, that they could kind of think of, oh wow, I could use a distributor for this. I could collaborate. What are some examples of what you've done in the past?
So I've talked to a lot of florists in the past, and they get really frustrated when brands come up to them and say, like, hey, do you want to create like this floral installation? They're not going to get paid for it. And it's like you're basically asking for free labor without knowing the person, which I think is like super disrespectful. So I feel like if wholesalers would be able, like, would donate the flowers, or give them a special price, then these florists can actually do these types of collaborations. So, for example, I did a collaboration with an amazing florist in Denver called Blooming House Denver. Her name is Valen Ibarra, and she just wanted some flowers, So I contacted a wholesaler. So, like, it didn't end up working out directly with the wholesaler, but we were able to get her flowers. That was our donation, and in return, I got these amazing like photos. I got amazing videos of the process, and that's all stuff that I can use on my social to promote not only her business but the wholesaler in that she got them from, and then our flowers, because they're our flowers. So it helps me with time, because as a small business, you don't have 10 people doing things all. It's either you and another person, or it's just you. So it helps me, with time. It helps me with content. It helps me with ideas. So I think that when florists reach out to wholesalers and be like, hey, this could help your social as well. This can help you promote to other florists things that they can do. Because sometimes, like, new florists come into wholesalers and they're like, so I have a wedding and I need help with an idea. What do you recommend? Oh, I have a lookbook here of things that people have done, and then you show them the content, and it's just like, it works for everyone. You're not stealing an idea. It's an inspiration. It's just, this is something that was done by this florist. Why don't you try this? So it's also building more relationships within their own community.
And it's the gift that keeps on giving, basically, because not only are you creating content, you're also showing your floral community that you're supporting the floral community. Right, that you're
Exactly.
supporting their business. Again, people are going to get tired of hearing this, but we need to be less of a transactional business and more of a supportive business, and be less, as everybody's always heard, less of salesmen and more of consultants. And when you consult somebody,
100%.
you're helping consult their business to grow. And the more we help our florists and the more we help our wholesalers grow, 1 and 1 equals 2, right? So
Exactly.
So it adds up. So supporting the florists to collaborate with their wholesalers coming through you, that is something that a lot of distributors are open to, and wholesalers and distributors, I think that it's new ground, right? So they're starting to kind of get to understand it, so
it is, and it takes time. It can't, you can't force it on people either. I've had a little bit of pushback from some wholesalers, and I understand it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, no, this is what you have to do. No, take your time.
Exactly.
Understand what it implies for you, and once you're ready, we're here to make it work. We're always telling our customers, if you have any special programs that you want to implement, marketing here from Golden will help you with all that stuff. It's not just, I'm here to push these flowers on you. It's like, let's create programs together that will help you and will help us. It's all about working together at the end of the day.
Communication, collaboration, and making
Yes.
that effort together. And again, the importance of social for me is not that sell, it's that support. It's really having that conversation, is reposting something that a customer posted of you, is how do we support the florist to feel supported, to feel encouraged and empowered. It's so awesome.
Totally. And I mean, if you've seen in the last couple of years, social media has really changed from it being really social to being more of a business thing, which has been a turnoff for a lot of people. So as a business, you have to really understand, where's that line of like selling and actually connecting and communicating with your audience. Like, I, as a person that use social media all the time, I'm tired of seeing ads, and I'm tired of like that selly pitch, like that sales pitch that you get now. So I like it when a brand can connect with you through a different way, and it actually makes me want to buy their products more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So question for you. There's that, golden rule, always have a call to action. I'm starting to think that that's a bronze rule now. What do you think about?
Yeah.
That's talking shop now. What do you think about the call to action?
I mean, a call to action can be, it doesn't have to be super businessy. It could be like, what do you guys think of this? Or pose a question. Like, for example, today's Earth Day. So as a floral industry member, like, how are you, what are your things that you're doing to help, promote sustainability? Those call to actions to me are more genuine than like follow us and click here on this link to get the promotion. Like, I'm so tired of that. I don't want that. I want to have conversations with human beings. And I think that we lost a little bit, not the floral industry, but digital marketing as a whole. For a while, we were really lost in selling. And now we're getting back to the roots of, I'm a human behind the screen and I want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, it's all about that customer persona and that empathy for that customer persona.
100% empathy. Yeah.
Walking through in their shoes, not through their shoes, walking in their shoes, and
Exactly.
understanding them and speaking their language. So, what are your thoughts on the future of our industry in digital and in a marketing sense? So, what are your thoughts of how important is digital marketing going to be for the next 10 years?
I think it's going to be super important. I think that, like I said before, in terms of our industry, everyone, whether you're a distributor or if you're a farm representative, if you're a buyer, you really have to understand what your role is. And you really need to make sure that you have the tools necessary to create the content that your audience is looking for. So, for example, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like sometimes a lot of people think that social media and digital marketing is an easy job, and that anyone can do it, and anyone can if you put your time and money and effort into it. But as a leader in the industry, I would say if you have a company or if you're the boss, like, really invest in someone taking, like, in at least one person to be dedicated to this job, because it is a 24-hour, 7 days a week type of job. Because if you're not engaging on social media, then you're researching the latest trend. And if you're not, doing that, then you're trying to read about what Instagram new feature is. So, like, it really is something that if you're going to do, I feel like you should do it right. Don't half-ass it. Don't just be online just to be online. And another thing, don't be on all the platforms. Like, Twitter for me doesn't make sense. Twitter is something fast-paced. It's new. Why am I going to be on? You know what I mean? I make more of an effort on Instagram and on Facebook, on YouTube. LinkedIn to me has been fantastic. I think LinkedIn is a really great way of communicating and connecting with other people in the industry. So really do the research. And I think COVID just showed that we needed to be online more. We needed to create that community.
And you have any tips for LinkedIn? What are some tips that benefit you with LinkedIn?
Honestly, it's been the easiest platform for us to build our following. It's just, I'm very particular about posting the same thing on all the platforms. I don't. So I just try to for example, like for Instagram, my audience tends to be a little bit more florists and consumers that are just looking for pretty, like, inspiring stuff. LinkedIn is really just industry based. So I have just noticed that, industry news is important. Having our own opinion about what's going on in the industry is also important, and sharing it with our followers is important. I would just say, kind of look at the analytics, look at who's following you, look at, where they're from, try to kind of understand, if we're having a lot, like I have like 50-50 on LinkedIn, where it's like a lot of Colombia and US, and I'm assuming a lot of the Colombians are, farm representatives, people that work within our system. So what information is important to them? They want to know how we are, for example, right now with the flower shortages and like the supply chain challenges, how are we communicating these challenges to our customers? They want to know that too. They want to know how we're helping them, because at the end of the day, it's a chain. So I would say really take the time to understand each platform. It can be fun. It can be a lot of fun. Like, I spend weekends reading about new trends. Some trends I participate in, some I don't, because I don't, it doesn't make sense for our industry. But if you're dedicated about it, I think it just comes off naturally. It doesn't, you're not looking at how many likes you have. It's not about that anymore. It's about creating that niche audience, that community that really resonates with what you're saying. doesn't matter. Yeah, amazing to go viral, but what's that, that viral post, why did it become viral? It's like the why, not like how. And I
Yeah.
see a lot of like digital marketers, they're selling, obviously they're selling their business. So it just becomes a little tricky because you start hearing things, reading things here, and then don't do this, the algorithm, shadow banning. And it's like, whoa, take a step back, breathe, and just do what feels right to you as a brand and as a person. And I think people really are resonating with that lately.
It's true. And it's also user generated content, which is super important as well, and
So important.
so important. Look at, New York Flower Market, as you know, that's how we met, right?
Yes.
All of it, 90% of it is user generated content, and there's 10,000 followers on it. So
And it's, yeah. And
you
it's
let the
so
community do the
organic.
talking. It's so organic.
Exactly.
You let the community, because there's this thing, not we in the flower industry, but there is this Instagram arrogance that I believe that people have, that it's like, oh, they like me, but I'm not going to respond, or they commented. No, man, comment back, share back. If you
Yes.
don't want to share
Yes.
it on your feed, share it on your stories. I increased my
100%.
engagement rate on New York Flower Market by resharing stories and encouraging people to do stories by 15% last month. So
That's
it's
amazing.
and the interaction, through the analytics and Google, because I'm sharing, they're tagging me, and they want to see themselves on your page. So
Of
do them the
course.
favor, and stories only last 24 hours, so don't be afraid.
Exactly. And now that you mentioned the way we met, I think that was what, like maybe 2 years ago,
Yes,
to
about a year and a half.
2019.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
You were probably one of the first people within the industry that was so willing to help and connect me with other people. And that
Yeah.
kind of like started my thinking of like, we need to help each other out more in this industry. Because before that, I hadn't had that many great experiences with people like, yes, let me connect. It was always like, no, these are my contacts and I'm not sharing. I was like, wow, this is such a great experience. Like, it wasn't that hard because I was nervous, but you were
you,
so nice about it,
you
and
you
I
you
really
won't you
appreciated
won't see my goosebumps. Maybe you can, but
that.
that's exactly what my mission is. Inspire, connect, and innovate, right? That's
Yeah,
exactly what my mission is, to say it doesn't hurt you to freaking help. So thank you for saying that so much. It really means a lot to me.
no,
Because
I
if I
appreciate
could
that.
change your mindset, I'm making a change, man. And
Well,
I've
yeah,
seen it
you
happen. Go
you
ahead.
inspired me to start helping people.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, and keep it going on. And like I've always said, my door is open for
Thank
any
you.
collaborations. And thank you for always supporting when I find a nonprofit that needs help. To always supporting those
Oh, of
nonprofits.
course.
And I believe there's right now not, but there is a time that we're going to get to a point that we're going to be looking at our coolers and going, man, we have to dump these flowers again. So if you connect with a nonprofit, you're using it for something, because flowers are not just a dollar sign; they're an emotional impact. Use them.
100%.
Use them for
Believe it.
what it,
Yeah.
and the more flowers are present, people are going to want to use them in their homes and see them and interact with them, and they might have never loved a flower before, but now, wow, they had flowers in their home and it changed their environment. So sorry, passion here. So let me get to something else. Let me get to something else real quick. This is a kind of a trick question, but when it comes to
Okay.
wholesalers, and when it comes to
Mhm.
florists, and it comes to even us as well, I do believe that digital marketing needs to be almost a culture in your mind. And
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you a question real quick, and I hope you understand it. If you're hiring somebody, is it more important to hire somebody that understands Microsoft Words, or somebody that understands the importance of social media and digital marketing from now on?
Uh, I think digital marketing a little. Well, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I would say digital marketing. I think you have to have a little bit more of knowledge because Microsoft Word. I mean, you can learn
Everybody
that
knows
really
it.
fast.
Excel. So,
Yeah.
so what I'm trying to say is, when people hire, even if it's a salesperson, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's a
Yeah. Oh,
salesperson or
100.
customer service, ask them if they know digital marketing. What do they know
Yeah.
about it? So that's how you
Yeah.
start your culture, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yes. That makes total sense. Yeah. I was thinking about it, and you're right. I mean, everyone everyone that I know knows how to use Excel, PowerPoint, Word, but a lot of people have a harder time learning digital marketing. And again, it goes back to that idea that digital marketing is scary and it's hard, but it really isn't once you get into it, once you take the time, because it does take time. When I first started, I was like, I mean, yeah, I use Instagram for myself, but for a business, it's completely different. So I think that if we start as an industry to hire more people that are at least knowledgeable, slightly passionate about digital marketing, you're going to start seeing that change within the industry that I think, desperately need.
And again, and to all my homies out there, salespeople, don't take an insult to it at all, because digital marketing is so easy to learn. But at least believe in it, support it.
Yes.
That's really the idea. When I hire for a couple of my consulting customers I consult for, I just want to make sure that they believe in it. That if we ask them for pictures or to follow their customers, they're going to do it, because you also have to understand that the more your salesperson understands digital marketing, and salespeople out there, the more you understand it, the more you could support your customers outside of that sales call, and you could use it for prospecting. The best example I give you is JetFresh. Those guys are using it inside and outside, personally and professionally, to reach out to their customers. And that is empowering. When you use digital marketing, social media marketing, especially Instagram, you can learn about trends. You can learn about your customers' needs, your customers' wants. You can learn about your competition. You can learn about your customers' dislikes. There's so much you can learn, and you could prospect. So the tool of knowing digital marketing outweighs words, and no one knows words 100%.
Oh yeah, I know. I hate Excel.
I like Excel, but I don't get it 100%, but I'm pretty good at it. But again, you need to know the basics, but at least believe and know the basics of digital marketing. So you could use it for yourself. Build your own brand, right? Even as a salesperson.
Yeah, no, and it's great because now that you mention it, we have a lot of sales advisors that obviously follow our account, not because they have to, we don't force them, but because they want to. And it's just great to see when they share like the content, and then it's not just friends and family, it's actually customers that they're friendly with. They're like, oh my God, what's the name of this flower? I need to have it. So it's really great when you see as a digital marketer that the sales advisors also, your own sales advisors appreciate the content, and they're like, this made it so much easier to sell, and to not sell a product per se, but sell an idea, sell a vision.
Have a conversation, right? I break the ice. So, and it goes both ways. It's for florists as well. If your employee reaches out to your customers and just has hey, how are the flowers? And in a personal level, you're building that relationship, and you're just connecting, and there's empathy involved in there, for sure. And the other thing is like we had JetFresh on 2 weeks ago or so, is empowering them. Giving them a guideline, sitting them down, doing an hour training, educate them on social media, educate them on the importance of building your own brand. And even if it's a salesperson, let them learn and understand it. Let them feel empowered to go ahead and do it. And you keep an eye on them, And we've done that.
No, of course.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said, of course. Even something that makes me think, it's like, do the training, but do a constant training. Like, it's not just a one time thing. It's like, let's do one every 6 months. We try to do this, but it's been, difficult because we're all remote, but like, we try to do like just a marketing meeting, once a month or once every 2 months, so that everyone knows what's going on. We try to do a community outreach so that everyone knows, from sales advisors to IT to accountant, everyone knows what we're doing as a brand, as a company, because we always say that everyone in the company is doing marketing for the company.
And that's called, there's a theory, I read a book called Smarketing, which is sales and marketing together. I think I might have shared this with you years ago, but it's sales and marketing together. That's how it all gets started. The silos of having marketing department and sales department on one side and another side, you're losing such opportunity by not talking to your 100%. Sales team. Because they're the ones that know, man. They're the ones that know.
Yeah, so they tell you, and then you know what's going on in the sales, and then you kind of learn, like, you can adapt that to communicate things to the customers and to the audience. So it is important to have that communication within the company, so that you're not saying one thing and then sales advisors are saying something else.
Yeah,
It's
man.
just,
And again, like, man, if you see something, if you see a customer that posted something, that that's a sales rep's customer and it was beautiful, give that information to your sales rep, because if they say,
oh
"Hey, I
yeah,
saw your posting," gosh, like the value
of
of
course, yes, yes, yes. It's
it's
great. No, so, the other day a florist tagged us on something, and I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Would you mind if we repost? And she's like, yes. I got my flower. I always get your flowers from this wholesaler, so I contacted the wholesaler, and I was like, thank you so much. And the person that answers, I don't know who's behind the account, was like, oh, you guys are great. And then I was like, it's all about the teamwork. And she's like, yes, this is what we should be doing more often. I was like, this is the type of stuff we need to see more, like having that communication. So I was like, when things get, safe again and stable after Mother's Day, after, COVID, I want to travel and I want to meet you, and we can talk more about in person, how to do more collaboration. So
awesome.
it does make people feel good to feel seen.
And it's the trick is to not be sold to, right?
Yeah.
And that's the key, is what else do you do beyond that transaction? So thank you for
Uh-huh.
saying that. And it's just collaborate, support, develop, educate. There's so much value we could really add to our customers. So thank you for that. Two
Okay.
last questions. So one question is, if you are looking for any collaborations or any projects you're working on, now would be the time, to create that connection. So is there anybody you're looking to collaborate with, or any outreach you're looking to meet?
Well,
Anybody you're looking
like
to
I
reach?
said, any wholesaler, I'm. It doesn't have to be a customer. Anyone that is in like the wholesaling business that is looking, to have more content creation, that doesn't have the time to, happy to help with that. When it comes to working, I do on-site projects. Like I will go and I will, help the florist. I do the photography. I do all the editing. I do all the videos. So anytime any wholesaler is interested in creating content with us, so happy to like be a part of it. So, if anyone's listening to this and wants to contact us, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I'm happy. Just slide into our DMs and we can have a meeting after Mother's Day, of course, because things are a little crazy. But I already have some meetings lined up, right after Mother's Day to start collaborating with people. But the more the merrier. I'm just here. I'm really honestly here to like spread all the flower love that we can.
and,
So
and and I give you guys a golden the all the credit in the world for doing that and having that mentality,
thank
of
you.
let's collaborate, let's help, let's do it, and go 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 is my new word of the year is
I
geo
love
go. So
it.
so if you were to ask what would be one question you would challenge the flower industry as a whole to ask
hmm
themselves this year?
Okay. I guess it kind of relates to what we've been talking about, for the last 30 minutes. It would be, like in a post-COVID world, where things get back to normal per se, because I don't know if they're going to ever get back to normal. What are some concrete steps that we can take to not only work together as an industry, but also to become more inclusive? I think that it can't just always be in the bad times that we're helping each other out. It should be, when the industry is prospering and when everyone's, when everything's great. I would love to see more. Obviously, healthy competition is always going to be something that's important, but I want to see more of us working together, finding ways where we can include others in different projects, not feeling the need to hide what we're doing or protect, what we're doing. Instead, share it.
Yeah,
Knowledge is power. And if we want as an industry to continue to grow, and if we want to prosper, and if we want to, continue to share, all the flowers and all the positive things that come along with flowers, why aren't we doing it with our own industry? And again, we are seeing a change because of COVID. I just hope it doesn't stop. I
I
hope it
agree.
continues.
I agree.
So
And
I
and
guess
the
that
one
would be my question.
And the one thing I challenge people to also think, or to have this mentality, is there's no such thing as copying anymore with digital marketing and website. The only thing it's the first one that did it. That's what I believe in.
Okay.
It's the first one that
Exactly.
did it, and from then on, there's no real copying anymore because it's just a part of your creation. And if it was cool enough,
Yeah.
people are gonna copy you, and it's really a benefit in sorts because it makes you more of an authority, and if they give you credit, even better. So thank you for saying that,
Oh,
and
thank
again.
you.
And thank you so much for your time, Mariana. Especially during Mother's Day. I know people must have been like, "That
No.
guy's crazy. You're asking for for an interview now." But thank you again so much, so much. And my doors are open whenever you need to chat, shop, or collaborate in any which way.
Likewise, thank you so much for having us or having me. And again, if anyone else ever needs, help with anything, collaborating, running ideas by each other, I'm happy to help.
Thank you. And thank you again to Golden Flowers for letting you join us today. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a
Take
good
care.
one.
So, guys, thank you again for joining us. As you know, New Bloom Solutions and the Bloom Show is here to innovate, connect, and inspire the floral industry and to collaborate. It's so refreshing to listen to people in our industry that understand the value of collaboration, understand the value of giving back, and like I'm always quoting him this entire month. Alejandro Perez said from Comet Sales, "Stop trying to grab that little piece of the pie and let's help build the pie so that it's big. Our original piece will just become bigger because we're helping build the pie as a community." This was our last show for Marketing Month. Next month is Innovation Month. We're going to be introducing some cool and awesome innovations within the flower industry. So stay tuned to look at that. That's one of my biggest passion is bringing in tools that help us sell flowers, help encourage and make things easier, and help us support each other. So thank you again. Please do me a favor. If you need any information, you can go to New Bloom Solutions, which is right here, newbloomsolutions.com. If you need to connect, chat, like Mariana says, I am an open book. I've been like this for 2 years and it will always be like this. Email me. Tell me, Sahid, I want to chat with you. Let's talk shop. I want to understand a little bit more about marketing, or I have an idea. Can you connect me with somebody like Golden Flowers? I'm here to do that. Doesn't cost me anything to do it, but I gain so much personally in doing it. So please email me at Sahid at New Bloom Solutions. And secondly, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. It really helps us with the algorithms and it allows us to continue doing the thing. And not only does it do that, it inspires me to keep on going, to understand that you guys are enjoying what I'm putting out. So again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you to Golden Flowers and Mariana. Thank you for always collaborating, and thank you for everybody that spent their time to watch. Oh, and I have a comment here, so give me a second. Thank you. Harold says, Silva, thank you. Very insightful. So thank you, Harold, for commenting. Truly appreciate that. So everybody have a great day. Thank you for your time and take care.